Video series. Today is video 201 of the Being in Sync 366 video series. That's where I come on here at some point during the day and do live video talking about one specific topic, and then we can go into questions. If people jump on and they want to ask questions, feel free to do so. For those of you who are giving a thumbs up and commenting, I thank you so much. That helps other people see this content and helps them to align within themselves. So my name is Kiana and I guide people to peace. And today we're talking about healthy choices not always being the easy ones. Now, sometimes people have the idea that when you are making a healthy choice, that it should be easy. It shouldn't be as hard as it is. And what most people don't understand is that when you are making changes, even though they're healthy changes, we still have a propensity to want to keep things the same, which is why it's so important for us to understand that change requires consistency, and change is something to be embraced, and not thinking that it's easy, because changing your brain patterns is what you're doing, right? Because the brain operates always on patterns. And when our patterns are disrupted, that causes some disorientation depending on what it is you're trying to change. So you want to really realign yourself into your approach. And knowing that it's not always going to be easy is a good way to shift your approach. So that's one thing. The second thing is knowing that it's not easy to change, you want to plan for the missteps and have a strategy. You don't want to just change and then be mad that it's hard. It is hard to change. So healthy habits begin with a clear understanding that challenges are a part of growth. That's why they call it growing pains. It's not just happening to your physical body, but it's happening to all of your bodies. So when your bodies aren't, hi Dove, good to see you. When your energetic bodies, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual cores are misaligned, you're going to have challenges. That is to be expected. And if you know that ahead of time, then you can align. That means become congruent within yourself, that you can overcome any limitation that you have with your approach. That means that you don't get bothered or bogged down knowing that it's not easy. You don't worry about that you made a mistake or that there was a misstep. You don't worry about that. You just understand that ease comes with practice, and ease is a part of mastery. And when you're creating new healthy habits, new healthy alignments, you're going to have some discord from beginning to mastery. So if you have that understanding, then you don't expect it to be easy, right? So I just wanted to keep today's video fairly short. Okay, go ahead, Dove. It's just you and I here today. But there will be people watching this on the replay, which the questions are not on the replays, which is why I reread them. So go ahead and you could ask me any question that's out of context for sure. So our perspective is really, really ours, right? And you can shift your perspective like that. And you can change what you think is easy by changing your perspective, by understanding like it wasn't supposed to be easy all the time. You're supposed to grow. You're supposed to evolve. And as you evolve, there's going to be some dis-ease. Hopefully it's not illness, but hopefully it's just realignments. That happens all the time, especially if you're going in what's called ascension. So when you are ascending in energy, in frequency, and you are going to higher levels of consciousness, each time you go up the rung, there's an adjustment phase. You don't just get to go in feeling how you want to feel. You feel different every single time you are upgrading. Okay, let's see. Wax says, finally, somebody that makes sense. I'm so glad, Wax, that you're here. Oh, Dove asked me, why do I always do my lives sitting here? Why don't I stand up? That's a great question. I used to do these lives in my office, sitting down in different spaces around my office, and then I've done them in the kitchen, but it's summer and the weather's so nice, and I take all my calls inside. So I just come out here to take like a time out to do these videos, and I find these seats really comfortable. So I don't stand up for all my videos. I could stand up, but I never know how long I'm going to be doing these videos. It really depends if people are asking questions or not. So there's that. So that's why I don't stand up. I do have some videos that I've posted, not on these lives, where I'm standing up. But I could stand up, I suspect. But either way, the information is the same. I don't know. Do you want me to stand for a particular reason? And Dove is asking me if I have any waist pain. Sometimes I do. In fact, when I stretch and I go like this, the next day I'm so sore. I've been doing that stretch. And I'm very sore when I do that stretch. Does that answer? I think that answers your question. It is totally out of context. Does this chair bother people that I'm sitting here? I always thought like the green trees is nice, the sun is nice, the lighting's nice, it's not artificial. I like to be authentic. Oh, you're saying if I move the background, it could be more seen. Is that better? My backyard's not very, is that better? I got a video director here with Dove. I appreciate the feedback. Is that better? I didn't know that there was a problem with me being seen. If me being seen is difficult, that is the first person, you're the first person, Dove, that shared that with me. Dovey, I love that name. So I'm happy to make adjustments with feedback, and I'm happy to take topic adjustments, but I didn't think that I would be the topic. I will say, since you brought up these videos, I change as I feel. The videos, the topics are based on what I feel like talking about that day, unless somebody asks me a specific question. And the location varies too, based on how I feel. The most important thing is ease for me for doing these videos. Because I want to say, stay in alignment with my truth, which is if I make these videos too difficult for me to do, I won't do them. I do them for free. I have clients of which I work with during the day, and this is just additional content to help people stay in alignment, for people who don't know me to learn about me and to have some content that helps them to align. So, so I hope that's helpful. What else could I say about healthy patterns? I think I want to talk about brain patterns. So when we have our neural pathways, they can become like what feels like stuck. but they're not really stuck. They're just repeating the same patterns over and over. So energy is never stuck. It's just repeating the same patterns over and over. So if you're feeling stuck, what I would suggest is that there needs to be a pattern interruption. This is very common language used. I use pattern interruptions with my clients frequently when change is needed. Especially, I do this with teams when I'm working with teams that are dysfunctional. You must have a pattern interruption, and if you don't, the dysfunction will continue. So anytime you are feeling stuck, that means you have some patterns that need to be shaken up, if you will, so you could be readjusted and realigned. So if you're feeling stuck, try that. And Dove, right, by the way, I just sent out an email about aches and pains. Dovey was asking me about if I had soreness in my waist or below my waist, and one of the experiments that I'm doing to get rid of aches and pains is I'm doing a cold exposure challenge. And I just sent out an update on my newsletter. So if you're not getting my newsletter and you want to, you could go to my website, or you can ask, I'll be posting it on Instagram later if you want to read that. But you can kind of see where my evolution of this cold exposure has gone to, because I do believe that is absolutely possible to be out of any kind of physical pain, mental pain, emotional pain. I think all pain can be transmuted. And so all of that begins with belief, number one. And it comes with trying new things. So I'm trying something new. I'm on day 5 of 11 days of cold immersion. And let me tell you, it is definitely different. I have tried going colder, and I have tried all different kinds of patterns with the cold exposure. But right now I'm trying something very specific. And I will tell you, after day 1, one of my aches and pains went away immediately. So now I'm just looking for the rest of them to adjust. I hope that helps. So let's see. Thank you so much for the compliment, Dovey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you being here and your comments and your question, actually. Okay, Wax asked, I spoke about ascending. What do I mean by that? When we are ascending in consciousness, that means we are expanding and going up the realm of going up higher. Not descending, which would be lower. So if we have a high level of consciousness, we are always on the ascension path. If we have a descending consciousness, which is a spiraling, that would mean that you might have what's called energy reversals in your field. You might be around or exposed to a lot of toxicity. You might have toxins in your body. You might have things that make you frustrated or angry or whatever it is. Different ways that bring you descending. The optimal way in which we ascend consciously is to find that neutral space where we can, what's called the 0 point frequency, also known as the God frequency, but it actually is a frequency of neutrality. And when we are in that state of neutrality, we are accessing new potentials. Those new potentials align us to the ascending path. I hope that helps. Trying to keep it really, hi Kevin, good to see you here. I hope that explains ascension. I mean, it can be much more complicated than that, but I don't want to complicate consciousness, because people often don't even know what consciousness is, because consciousness is not connected to your mind. Did you know that? Consciousness is about connecting to your heart, and that's where consciousness is expanded. Your heart is a portal of energy. Not only does it pump your blood and keep you breathing, but it also helps you ascend in consciousness. Okay, great question, Wax. I really appreciate that. Dove, you found, oh, Dove, I'm so sorry that you feel stuck. But that's a good, Dovey is saying that, Dovey is saying that she or he often finds herself feeling stuck. And you're not alone in that. A lot of people feel stuck. But it might help you to understand that that is just a repeating pattern. So, what you might want to see is what patterns do you have that are repeating that need to be disrupted? So, you might want to look at a simple one is your sleep. That's a simple one to look at. Might be your exercise, and it might just be that 1 degree, just a slight change that makes you not feel stuck anymore. Feeling stuck is just repeating patterns. So, Kevin, you have back pain and you have painkillers. I am not a fan of painkillers. Even when I had pain on a scale of 0 to 10 and it was at a 20, and I had really dark thoughts because the pain was so excruciating, I did not go on pain pills. They did not help. They might take the pain away, but they cause so many other pains. First of all, painkillers disconnect you from your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, and your spiritual body. When you are disconnected, you leave yourself vulnerable to other aspects and other energies coming in and siphoning your ability to ascend and access higher levels of consciousness. And literally your life force can be siphoned from you. So if you're in pain, which I am so sorry that you're in pain, because I know pain, I've known pain. And I can tell you that when I've had episodes of extreme pain, I will meditate as often as I possibly can. Literally, I will wake myself up every hour, on the hour, to meditate and to get aligned and to connect with my heart. And that will diminish your pain. It works for my clients. I work with clients all the time that have pain. I do what works for me. It doesn't work for everybody. It does take a lot of commitment. But the painkillers can often leave what's called an imprint and a residue. So even after you go off of them, it's still in your systems and affecting you cellularly. So you want to make sure that you address that. Okay, Kevin? Let me just say this before I move on, Kevin. I want to say wholeheartedly that the answers to your peace and your ease are always going to come from within you, not an external entity or result or resolve. Like, I know taking the pills, that's like society has gone that way, but it's not necessarily the easiest way. But I do know that for a lot of people, it seems like the last ditch effort. And I know about last ditch efforts because, I'm going back over 12 years ago when I had a severe injury and I was in so much pain. I literally thought about not being here on this planet if I couldn't get out of pain. So I know pain intimately. It's your friend. It's also a guide for you to go within. And if you're interested in more, you could shoot me a message. Okay, I'm just looking here. Angel says she lives next door to me. We're all neighbors, Angel. It's time for me, Marty, hi. It's time for me to get past and being hard on myself. Yeah, that would be a repeating pattern though, Marty. So if you're repeating a pattern of being hard on yourself. You're not alone. I would say there's an epidemic of people that have been conditioned to be hard on themselves. This is the ego mind. That's why I say in past videos, like, you must learn to address the ego mind. I do it with my clients. However, I don't even teach my clients how to work through the ego mind stuff until they've done the peace program and they've done the radiant power program. And then I introduce the ego work, because the ego really fights for what it knows and to keep things the same and to repeat the same patterns, even though they might be dysfunctional patterns, right? So, you know, it's a pattern. You can't get past the past until you make a conscious choice to move past the past. So once you make a conscious choice, like the past is the past, and now I don't want to not be hard on myself. I want to love myself. So if I can't love myself today, maybe I start to like myself. What do I need to do to like myself more today? I'm going to brush my teeth twice. I'm going to put lotion on my skin. And you start doing little things that teach you how to do self-care. Because, you know, in our society, self-care is not something that most people talk about. I know it's become really trendy for people to do groups of self-care, but self-care, just do any one of the practices that I've listed in 200 videos, and that would be a start in not being hard on yourself. But you don't want to start your focus with what you don't want to do. You want to start your focus with, okay, this is what I don't want. I'm going to leverage to what I do want. So if I'm hard on myself, I want to start liking myself. What are the things that I can start implementing that I like about myself? You know, it's just simple things, simple things. Start simple. Oh, Vam says, I'm like a fine wine. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Wax, I'm so glad that that was helpful. Vam is asking me to explain time and gravity. Also, is there space and matter? Yes. Okay, so matter is like, I'm just gonna, I'll use this. This is matter. So, and everything starts in the non-physical. So non-physical is absolutely in the non-physical is in the non-physical. So that would be in space and time. Time is a construct. So that is a construct of third dimension, and that is not the same when you go in other dimensions. So hope that answers your question. Can I explain gravity? You know, I don't think I can. I'm not a scientist. I'm just explaining how I understand energy works. And I certainly don't want to speak out of turn. Oh, happy birthday, Kevin. It says it's his birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Lots of birthdays today. I think I have like 4 clients that have birthdays this month. Lots of birthdays in July. Oh, thanks, Wax. You're subscribing. Thumbs up. Yeah. All my thumbs up yesterday got deleted. I don't know how. I don't know how. So what is my profession? I do energy psychology, and I work with individuals, I work with couples, and I work with teams. Normally dysfunctional teams, but I'll work with a high functioning team that wants to get better results. That's I do both corporate work and individual one-on-one. So people who essentially want to expand in consciousness, who want to get better results, who want to feel better, who want to be more aligned. You know, that's what I do. Everything runs in patterns. It doesn't matter whether it's work or personal. The patterns will be the same. So if somebody steals at work, they're going to steal somewhere else too. You know, like who you are as a person will be the same in other situations, but it will vary in how you express yourself. So usually when people are at work, they're less expressive in the ways that are dysfunctional. But, you know, in a dysfunctional team, we get the dysfunctional expressions as well. So that's what I do. Does that explain it? Every session is an experience. So each experience, whether you've been coming to me for the first time or second time, or maybe it's every 6 months, and I have clients that come to me weekly or bi-weekly, and you know, every single session is completely different. Why? Because we run that many patterns. If you think about it, a harmonic can run through a one pattern, but it could also be running through systems, which also runs through paradigms and dimensions and time and space. I mean, there's the depth of energy and how we unhook is mind-boggling. And I try to explain everything to my clients when they come to a session, because I like to be transparent. Because I will tell you, there are people that will help you to learn about your energy field, but they're manipulating. And I don't want my clients to ever not understand their own energy field. So the first thing I do with my clients is I teach them how to see, sense, and feel their own field. And when I'm working with teams, I can work remotely or I can go in person. But either way, I see the patterns. And that's what I'm always addressing, is the patterns at the root issue. Root also meaning causation. So what caused this pattern to occur? What causes the patterns of anxiety? What causes the patterns of dysfunction? And I go to causation, because there could be many reasons for why something is moving in that direction, but it's always going to be unique to you and your soul. That was a long-winded answer. I hope that was helpful. That was all for what is your profession. Not only stuck, but also lonely and insecure. Oh, you just made my heart sink. It might be that I haven't got anything what I have asked for. Well, what I will say, Dovey, is that you're not alone. We're all in this together. And insecurity, self-esteem, confidence is something that requires alignment. And what I would say is the fact that you feel insecure, for example, just means that you need some realignment. Doesn't mean you're broken. You're not broken. And the fact that you're lonely, a lot of people are lonely. But when you develop a deep connection with God and a deep connection with your higher self and your God self, the loneliness dissipates. And then you get filled up. And when you're filled up, you are ignited. And when your light is ignited, then your patterns begin to shift and change. And then you start to see synchronicities occur within your life. Debbie says, I come to your live because of your presence. Might have been a balmy effect on me. A good effect, I hope? A calming effect on. Okay, Debbie's saying that she comes to the lives. I'm just glad you're here. You know, sometimes I come on these and to do these videos and I'm talking to myself, and I just really want to provide content that is supportive of other people realigning. And I know that this journey, the spiritual journey of alignment, can be so challenging, and it can be very lonely. And I have felt lonely. But I'm also a loner, you know. I really enjoy my own company. So I don't get lonely like some other people might get lonely. I enjoy my own company. I enjoy my connection with God. I enjoy sitting and listening to my heart. I enjoy that. And I'm happy to share with you all. And I'm just so grateful that people are watching, and I like that what I'm sharing is helping them. Oh, Kevin's 50. Yes, Kevin. Happy 50th. Well, another person I know just turned 60, and they said, oh, my dog is cheering you on. They heard me scream. Another person I know is turning 60, and they wrote me a message saying they were scared of turning 60, and that, or turning 60 was scary. And I thought, oh, that's a great video, because when we're aligned to our purpose, nothing has to be scary. And I hope that you do something good and healthy to align yourself. And what I will say, Kevin, at 50, this is so anybody having a birthday and or turning like a milestone birthday, I will say that do your values. Do your top 5 values. What do you value? And let that be your guidepost moving forward for creating the life that you really want to create for the rest of the year. Somebody's asking me what types for my channel. I'm not quite sure what you mean there. Hi, Marty. You're welcome. Thank you for thanking me. Thank you for thanking me. You know what Dovey says? It would have been better if I have gotten you earlier as my teacher. And Dovey, what I have learned is that who we get as our teachers helps us in that moment. And when you are raising up in consciousness, you will attract a different type of teacher. So I would suggest, Dovey, that you are already in alignment with going to where you and becoming who you want to become, because you would not be on this channel, you would not be resonating with any of my messages if you were not destined to realign, if you were not open to new ways. And what I will say is I've had some really shitty teachers too. We have all had go look at my videos about manipulation. You will learn about one of the worst teachers I've ever had, and boy, did they teach me some hard lessons. But let me tell you, those lessons, I am leveraging the hell out of them. I will never repeat those lessons, and I use those lessons to teach my clients, because nobody should be able to manipulate your energy without your awareness. We need to do healthy, energetic hygiene every single day, just like you brush your teeth. Okay. You can, Pablo, you're here. I can stand up, but I'm not ready to stand up. Okay, let me say this. I'm so glad that Pablo, you always make me laugh. And I will do a video when I stand up. I will, but it's not happening today. Oh, Break Forever says, I'm like a scientist. It's okay. I couldn't be further away from science. Science has not even been able to determine consciousness. I heard somebody today talking about what they believed based on science, and that they disbelieve anything that is not grounded in science. But science is based on data. Data is always based on interpretation. So I just thought it was interesting. Like, I thought the topic was about remote viewing. This is, if you don't know what remote viewing is when you are in one location, like I'm here, and I can see into somebody else's space and time without them aware that I'm doing so, which is not good energy hygiene, just for the record, and I not recommended. And this guy, that was his practice, and he didn't believe in anything that wasn't grounded in science. So as he was saying that, I really felt like what he was saying was incongruent. He was really incongruent. And this interview went on for 3 hours. Anyway, so I turned it off. Dovey, Dovey, to be precise, my private tutor. You're welcome to book a session, Dovey. I do private sessions all the time, every day, all day. That's why I take a time out to come outside. But now you got me thinking I have to change my background, Dovey. Okay, I'm just gonna look and see if there's any questions here. Some people are getting held for review. Break Forever says, I'm very intelligent. They're thanking me for my knowledge. Thank you for thanking me. I appreciate you being here. Pablo says, I am a student and I want to come to America. Can I help him? I do remote calls. I work with people all over the globe. I can't say specifically that I can help you come to America, but I help people all around the world. Dovey, I really love your teachings, and on the other hand, your hard exterior. I'm very direct, Dovey. That's one of my gifts. I've been told that my entire life. Okay, Kevin. Oh, Kevin, I have shown my dog in other videos. Kevin's saying, can you please show me your dog? My dog's inside right now while I'm filming this because I didn't want to be interrupted. But there's quite a few videos where you could see she was on my lap and literally bruised my legs all the way up because she was barking at a possum that went by. Okay. All right, you all. I really appreciate. Somebody just said nice. Hey, Dovey. Somebody said nice background. Is it because I changed and you can see the blue sky? What? I like the green trees. Okay, y'all. I really appreciate your time and your chat. It really makes doing these videos amazing. And I am going to go because my battery's about to die. But I will say on a final note, my name is Kiana and I guide people to peace. And I do sessions. So if you are interested, you can go to my website, which will be linked in the descriptions. But other than that, I have 200 plus videos here that have so much insight and so much wisdom and so much guidance to help you align within yourself. I agree with most of you that it's nice to have somebody that you can talk to get support, which is why I started offering my services to the general public. All right. Okay, Dovey, if you have a question, I will stay. Dovey's asking me to stay for just a minute. What question do you have, Dovey? Let's see. We're talking about healthy choices not being easy. Pattern interrupts not being easy. So if we know something is going to have a challenge, we want to strategize for that. I'm trying to think of one technique that you can do that would help. And I would say to increase your self-esteem would be to increase your self-awareness. So don't be afraid of feeling your feelings. If you can feel your feelings all the way through, then you can transmute them and you will have more confidence to do those things that are challenging and difficult. Do I go to the gym? I work out at home. Okay, tell me. Dovey's saying, okay, tell me about insecurity. Well, insecurity is a lack of connection with the heart, number one. It's a lack of a connection with God. You have been disconnected from your divine aspects, and all of those things are fixable. And it doesn't take money, it does take time, does take effort, and it does take focus and consistency. If you're willing to do those things, you will be more confident than you know by the end of the year. It's all about focus and intention. And Dovey, I would say if you have not already done the intention setting to synchronicity course, I highly recommend that course. That's a great daily practice to get you into learning how to do intention settings, which is a fundamental aspect of realignment. Thank you. Somebody says they, Rishavi, I don't want to say it wrong, says that they like my accent. Well, thank you. I didn't even know I had an accent. All right, you all. I hope you have a great day. I will see you tomorrow, hopefully around the same time frame, but we shall see. Have a great day. I'm Kiana Sage, and I guide people to peace. You can find me at kiana.com. Have a great day. And if you're interested, I'm also on Instagram, and I will post my newsletter there. Okay, bye.